Welcome back, Focus Learners. Today, we are diving into a brand new explainer. And this one, well, it's absolutely wild. We're unpacking the chilling, seemingly inexplicable claims surrounding Mount Kailash. Now, this isn't just your average mountain. It's a massive enigma tucked away in the Himalayas, where conventional science and logic just kind of surrender to the unknown. We're going to systematically break down the data, the historical accounts, and the geographical anomalies that make this peak literally one of the most mysterious places on Earth. And why does this matter to us? Because Kailash represents the ultimate test of exactly where modern science ends and ancient belief begins. Let's get into it. To really grasp how bizarre this place is, we need to start with a gripping primary account from 1998. It comes from the private diary of Colonel Arvind Rathore. Now, he was a 45-year-old military veteran, a guy deeply rooted in discipline, rationality, and science, the kind of man who openly challenged superstitions. But his reality was completely shattered on the icy slopes of Tibet. After retiring, he actually set out to find logical answers to these Kailash mysteries, leading a small team right toward the mountain. But what he ended up recording in his diary, it defies all military logic. His final entry simply read, "That light is calling me." According to his logs, everything changed at exactly 3:17 a.m. The temperature outside his tent had plummeted to minus 20 degrees Celsius. In the dead of night, the colonel heard a rustling, which was quickly followed by heavy, deliberate footsteps circling his tent. Naturally, he grabbed his flashlight and stepped out, fully expecting an intruder. But he found absolutely no one. What he did find, however, were giant, human-like footprints in the snow that just vanished. They led nowhere. Then, looking up at the mountain, he saw this pulsating, breathing blue light. He immediately raised his camera, which he noted had a 100% battery charge, but the very second he clicked the shutter, the battery drained instantly to zero. Part 1. The Unconquered Peak. Okay, let's dive into this comparison. Just look at Mount Everest. Sitting at a staggering 8,848 meters, it has been summited by over 7,000 people. It's crowded up there. Yet Mount Kailash, which is significantly shorter at 6,638 meters, has exactly 0 successful summits. It remains completely unconquered. No way, right? While a lot of scientists point to the strict religious restrictions imposed in recent years, historical expedition logs suggest something else entirely. The inability to climb Kailash isn't just about faith. Sources detail strange, aggressive, physical deterrents that reportedly force climbers to turn back. And it gets weirder. Sources report deeply unsettling biological phenomena experienced by those who even attempt the ascent. Climbers have reported a sudden, extreme acceleration of time on their own bodies. It starts with nails and hair growing at a rapid, completely unnatural pace. Then comes severe, crushing exhaustion and the sudden wrinkling of the skin. It's as if decades of aging are compressed into mere days. The most infamous case cited in the literature is a 1930s British expedition. According to the accounts, these climbers supposedly aged 8 years in the span of just 8 days on the mountain, and tragically, all members of that team reportedly died within 2 years of returning home. Part 2. The Magnetic Void. Tech and Time Anomalies. Now, what's really interesting here is the massive scale of technological failure. We aren't just talking about losing your cell signal. In this specific zone, compasses reportedly spin in continuous 360-degree circles. GPS systems go entirely blind, drones crush right out of the sky, and batteries instantly flatline. Scientists refer to these as extreme magnetic variations, though honestly no concrete data fully explains the intensity. These anomalies were put to the ultimate test during a 2001 Chinese helicopter mission. A military aircraft actually attempted to fly over the peak, but as it approached, all navigation and radar systems died. The crew reported severe atmospheric pressure and a terrifying phenomenon of sudden black lightning flashing in the sky. They were forced to turn back immediately. And the distortions actually extend beyond technology, straight into the perception of time itself. Imagine looking at your watch and realizing half an hour of your life just didn't happen. Travelers and researchers have documented experiencing this exact thing, missing time, entire 20 to 30-minute chunks of memory that simply vanish. On top of that, analog wristwatches are reported to run backward, while digital clocks inexplicably leap forward. Now, these specific temporal anomalies are usually tied to UFO lore, right? But sources claim that around Mount Kailash, this is a naturally occurring, highly localized phenomenon. Part 3. Sacred Geometry, Pyramids, and Hidden Realms. So, in 1999, A team of Russian researchers, led by Ernst Moldyshev, put forward a highly controversial theory. They actually concluded that Mount Kailash is not a natural geological formation at all. Instead, they claim it's a giant, hollow, man-made pyramid. Their reasoning? They base this on the mountain's unique structure. It features near-perfect 90-degree sloping faces and a completely flat top that they argue is just way too precise to be the result of natural wind or ice erosion. Furthermore, their satellite mapping suggested that Kailash is actually the centerpiece, surrounded by exactly 108 smaller, naturally occurring pyramids, all forming this massive energy grid. What's fascinating is how this Russian hollow pyramid theory intersects perfectly with ancient Hindu and Buddhist texts. For centuries, ancient lore has detailed the existence of Shambhala or Gyangyang, which is described as an invisible underground network of advanced immortal yogis who have mastered telepathy and time travel. What really brings this ancient myth into modern focus is satellite imagery of the mountain's southern face. It reveals a massive, perfectly symmetrical 15-meter rectangular structure that looks exactly like a giant doorway. Many theorists argue this is literally the entrance to that hidden realm. And the geographical anomalies don't stop there. They continue right at the base of the mountain, with a stark environmental contradiction. Just 35 kilometers apart sit two very different lakes. First up is Lake Mansarovar. It's the highest freshwater lake in the world, perpetually calm and historically associated with positive energy and creation. Then, right next door, is Rakshas Tal. This one is a saltwater lake, constantly battered by turbulent storms, completely devoid of aquatic life, and associated with negative, destructive energy. Modern science genuinely struggles to explain how these two drastically different microclimates and water compositions can exist side by side in the exact same geological environment. It's just astonishing. Part 4. Divine Resonance: Symbols, Sounds, and Light. When researchers placed sound frequency devices near the mountain, sources claim they didn't just record the wind, they actually recorded highly specific ultra-low acoustic frequencies. We're talking 110 hertz, which is known for inducing spiritual trance states, 222 hertz, which aligns with human body resonance, and 432 hertz, traditionally known in ancient texts as a healing frequency or the frequency of Shiva. These reported acoustic signatures match the exact chants used in ancient temples. It perfectly aligns with centuries of traveler lore claiming to hear phantom Om sounds, along with the rhythmic beating of traditional Damaru drums echoing right through those empty, icy valleys. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer visual spectacle of the mountain itself. You see, Kailash doesn't just sit there, it performs. Over the course of a single day, the rock face changes colors dramatically. It shifts from this vibrant golden hue in the morning to a brilliant crystal-like silver at noon. Then it plunges into a deep blue in the evening before turning pitch black at night. On top of that, travelers and satellite data have reported a massive 12-kilometer color-changing electromagnetic halo that occasionally wraps entirely around the peak, creating a massive glowing barrier, like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. Then, there's the sacred geometry formed simply by light and snow. Back in 2015, NASA's satellite images revealed that the shadows cast by the mountain's ridges eerily resemble a giant, perfectly proportioned yogi sitting in a state of meditation. At sunset, the mountain's shadow reportedly forms a perfect swastika on the ground, which, remember, is an ancient symbol of prosperity. And when fresh snow falls, the intricate ravines on the southern face distinctly spell out the Om symbol. Ancient texts have long claimed this exact geographical area is Earth's heart point, or axis mundi. And honestly, this visual evidence, whether it's by sheer geological coincidence or something else entirely, just continues to captivate observers. So, what does this all mean? We have a mountain that completely refuses to be climbed, environments that defy ecological norms, equipment that spontaneously fails, and shadows that perfectly mimic ancient symbols. We've walked through the historical logs, the satellite data, and the enduring lore. Now I want to leave you with a final provocative question to ponder. Are we simply looking at extreme, undocumented natural phenomena that science just hasn't caught up to yet? Or is Mount Kailash guarding a much deeper truth, a place where the boundaries of reality blur and logic simply has to surrender to faith? Take some time to think about that, and as always, keep seeking the answers.